What is something about American culture that seems fake or exaggerated in movies, but is actually 100% real? Yes, we do have all those yellow school buses. And yes, our schools really do have lockers like that. And yes, we do use those red cups at parties. The massive gaps in public bathroom stalls are absolutely real. You just have to stare at the floor so you don't make accidental eye contact. Some of us say y'all and golly. Scotsman here. I genuinely didn't know the Pledge of Allegiance starting the school day was an actual thing. Free refills on soda, free tap water automatically delivered to the table. This is coming from someone who has never lived in America but has visited, portion sizes. And free refills. Yes, my medical bills are actually that huge. Halloween. College sports. How easy it is to get married in Las Vegas. Absolutely works as advertised. American gun culture. There's even more to it than commonly portrayed. I've met so many cops in the South that are straight out of central casting for what you might imagine a small-town Southern cop to look/act like. The obesity. I am from the rural South. Go to any Walmart in the rural South. People are fucking huge. I have lived abroad for the past 12 years. I never appreciated how big Americans can be until I left. It's true that nobody turns around to see the enormous explosion happening behind them. I was a musician who played at college fraternity parties. Usually the toga parties and on Halloween. The movie Animal House is actually quite tame compared to what actually goes on. Midwestern friendliness. I have never been to a party where there aren't unlimited red Solo cups. College, American, football tailgates, holiday parties. Unlimited. None of us know where they come from, but we all know where to buy them. They make us all square dance in 4th grade for some reason, but refuse to teach us how to do our taxes. I live in Texas. There's so many guns. High school football and cheerleading being huge in many towns. Not having healthcare, it's not exaggerated at all in the USA. The noise. Loud voices. Loud cars. Loud advertising. Just, loud. College sports, in addition, is the marching/pep band. House parties like in Superbad. I went to several like that in high school. Great times. The portion sizes are genuinely insane, lol, like I visited once and ordered what I thought was a normal meal and it could have fed 3 people. Made sense why everyone in the movies is always shocked at restaurant bills. Homelessness, Skid Row, encampments, etc. Friends are blown away when they visit. I met a woman in New Zealand who was astonished to learn that we really do light up our homes at Christmas time. She thought that was a Hallmark movie thing. I reminded her that it's dark in the US in December, so Christmas lights are all we get. If they were to try it in New Zealand, the lights wouldn't go on until 9 p.m. Plus, they have all the summer fun going on while we have cold and dark. I've just been to my nephew's high school graduation ceremony and it was exactly what you see in films. Also, according to him, the youth behaves exactly as what you see on screen. Social hierarchy between jocks, nerds, popular kids, rich and poor, bullying, etc. People genuinely think they can bootstrap themselves into being a billionaire. I live in the US, but recently traveled to the UK, Gloucester, on business. I was pleasantly surprised by the lack of billboard advertising and SUVs/pickup trucks. All of those are absolutely everywhere in the US. High school tropes in movies are fairly accurate. School really does have the stereotypical cliques. Mean girls, jocks, nerds, popular kids, drama geeks, druggies, class clowns, goths, emos, band kids, social floaters, it's all real. Advertisements for all sorts of garbage like medicine you don't think you need, but the damn commercials get pushed so many times it's worse than used car salesmen trying to make a sale. Oh, and attorney commercials. It's beyond absurd how litigious this country is, and we think it's normal. Took my kids to a Golden Corral in Tennessee and they just sat there in shock because they'd never seen so many obese people in one room. The size of our homes that I saw American Beauty, when it first came out, in Japan with a Japanese friend who had never been to the US after the movie, she commented that American homes are not really like that, with lawns, etc., and that the neighborhood depicted was fictional and Hollywood phony. That I told her that I grew up in a similar place and that much of the US was like that without being considered rich. She was astonished. When we get in a gunfight we always say, "Cover me, and I'll draw their fire." When someone is acting on incomplete information, it is customary to say, "You don't get it, do you?" The minority of people, the rich, really have houses like in sitcoms. Normal PPL don't, or are in a relationship and covered in debts. Our love for burgers and using them as units of measurement. A lot of movie stereotypes about the US sound exaggerated until you actually see them in real life. Rednecks and trailer parks. Lawn mowing is the American pastime. American sports culture from childhood, to high school, to college, to pro, cannot be comprehended by the European mind. I wanna say tanning culture. I think portion sizes would be the thing that a non-American tourist would notice almost before anything else. Portion sizes at some restaurants would be what some Europeans would consider enough to feed a whole family. Even drink-wise if you order a coffee or soda. It is true that you can get bankrupt over one medical bill. Saying, "How are you?" as a greeting without expecting a real answer. People in Texas unironically wearing cowboy hats and boots. The entire political landscape. How much people expect customer service to kowtow to them, in fact general interactions. Visiting it was alarming how fake every interaction felt because everyone seemed to be putting on such a front of fake pleasantry. Being fat and driving everywhere. Random idle chit-chat with strangers. We do that. All the time. We really do care what people think of the weather. How horrible our education system is. When you see small towns in movies, they show charming downtowns with passerbys walking, coffee shops, and bakeries. In reality, Walmart destroyed all main streets in small towns. Drive through any small rural town, all vacant and empty. No mom and pop shop could compete against the big Walmart just a 40-minute drive away. When we moved in the 1970s to a tiny rural town, it had 2 grocery stores, 2 restaurants, a hardware, a notion store. All destroyed now. Walmartized. Yes, the restaurants give you ice. It's pretty cool. Those compliments and enthusiasm toward strangers and with each other is genuine. Like 100%. We like to randomly gas each other up like that. Waffle houses are a thing in Southern America. Medical bills can bankrupt you, literal financial ruin. Red Solo cups. Taught a tech class in Japan in the early 2000s, and one of the questions about American culture was if parties really had red cups or if this was only in movies. There was an audible gasp and giggles when I indicated this was true. Of course this was translated. On my next trip, I brought red Solo cups for answering questions correctly. You would have thought I was giving away gold bars.